In the UK, there's a bowl for every surface for the Henselite product. But overseas, I use the Tiger 2 and I use the Dreamline XG purely because I love the grip and the arc that the bowl takes, and that's what makes me one of the best players in the world.
The Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing food for you and your family. Function rooms for celebrating with your friends. Corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for members. Visit us today at the Traralgon Bowls Club. More than just a bowls club.
The Morwell Bowling Club is your place for fun and food. Come and try bowls and make new friends. Have coffee or bring the family for lunch or dinner. The Morwell Bowling Club. Visit us today on Hazelwood Road.
Welcome back to BVTV and a round 16 matchup of the Henselite Victorian Open mixed pairs competition. Today we've got a matchup between Jess Alvaro and Ben Fletcher against Leanne Poulson and Matt Robertson. My name's Glenn Saditis and I have the privilege today of being joined by a very special guest, National Assistant Coach Karen Murphy. Welcome.
Thanks very much, Glenn. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here at the Vic Open, first time.
Obviously been here for the week before the events kicked off with a training camp. What have your experiences of Traralgon and the venue and everything like that been like so far? Yeah,
unfortunately when you go away to these bowls events you only see the motel and the bowls venue. But the club, I have to say, big shout out to the club, to Brenton and the board for really showing great hospitality towards the Aussie squad who trialled for the Commonwealth Games earlier this week. And the indoor facility here is just wonderful. So it's great to be here just to witness some of the bowls Vic Open. It's the first time I've been here actually, like to witness it. I'm actually really happy to see that it's just so many players in it, like the venues, the multiple venues, and obviously like the calibre of player in the Vic Open is super duper. So it's been good.
It's one of the great things about the format that we've got at the moment. You were asking just before we went to coverage about the one day of play and then the knockout days and how that progresses against event. But a lot of people that are upset here after an unfortunate loss, but it means that they're hanging around and watching those finals, and it really does create that hub atmosphere. Of course, down here as well, we've got the Henselite shop set up, our major partner for the Victorian Open. Also an AM Sportswear shop for Bowls Victoria's apparel partner, selling all of our tournament shirts, jackets, other uniform. And on top of the rest of our partners at the moment, we can't run this event without Latrobe City Council, as our government host partner. Traralgon and Morwell Bowls Clubs are our two host venues, and Destination Gippsland. Now, we're just waiting for the buzzer to go to start the timing on this final match. All games timed. Dead ends this year. We've gone to the change of not respotting to the tee. Dead ends will be replayed, and we are looking for 15 live ends to progress through to the quarterfinals. There's our bell, and with that, we'll see Jess Alvaro. Wrong Jack start off with. Jess will be using some blue and white Dreamline XGs. She's playing with Ben Fletcher using some teal Drake's Adrenalines. On the other side of things, they've made it nice and easy for us, Karen. We've got some black Optimas with some black and orange Conquests. Nice and easy for the commentary to see what teams got what bowls.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw obviously utilised Rink 8 a fair bit, the TV rink here, and during the trials, so marked a few games and got to see the different lengths and idiosyncrasies of this rink. So it'd be interesting to see how these players perform.
It's been our theme of the week on this stream rink so far, and Jess has found it out straight away that players are using that ditch side.
Yeah, it seems to be a little bit bendier than the other side from what we've seen.
In the UK, there's a bowl for every surface for the Henselite
when the jack is tee to tee on the side that Leanne is playing at the moment, heading in that same direction as we see for our viewers, in the direction of the ditch side that hand when the jack was on the tee, there was just
The
every
Traralgon
line
Bowls
basically
Club.
to the jack was
Amazing
really
food
good.
for you and your
it's a
family.
high
Function
standard
rooms for
of
celebrating
bowls when
with
the
your
jack's on the
friends.
tee.
Corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for
Yeah, right
members.
across
Visit
that
us
line as
today
well.
at the Traralgon Bowls
There seems to
Club.
be a
More
pattern
than
where you
just a
can
bowls club.
get within 18 inches of the,
The
ditch, or you
Moama
can be
Bowling
3
Club
feet
is your
inside, and
place
either
for
way, you're
fun
never
and
going to be
food.
too far from
Come
a
and
bowl
try
or two from
bowls
that
and
centre line there.
Yeah.
And sure enough, right on cue, our first few bowls are in a nice and tight line.
Strangely, when the mat was up the rink, on this rink though, Glenn, if the jack was on the tee on a shorter length, our players weren't hitting the line as well. But if the mat was sort of there where it is at the moment and further back, they could. So, yeah, just depend on where the mat was.
Just where you're able to find that initial slot.
So Leanne Poulson, for our viewers at home, she's a New Zealand representative, has played for the New Zealand team probably for the last, I would say probably 4 years or so. She's been quite a bit of a regular in the Kiwi team. So this would be a really good matchup up front. Jess ALVARO and Leanne, they're both very experienced players.
Yeah, Jess has had a good few years. I believe she made the last 8 or 16 in the women's singles at the Vic Open last year.
It's a good effort. Loves the bowls, Jess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course, was with Bowls Australia for a long period there.
Yeah.
Working on the Bowls Link development side of things.
Did a great job too.
Club support.
Well, it's a fair start from these two girls.
If the start's any indication of how the rest of this game is going to go, we are in for a cracker.
I know I've known Ben since he was a young man. I used to, from Moama BPL, used to do some marking and things like that. Haven't really seen a lot of him play, I'll be honest. But he's developed into a lovely young fellow.
Yeah, he's a good fella. We saw him, I believe he may have either been the stream or the rink next to in one of our games last year, either pairs or triples, and had a decent run in that event. As you mentioned, plenty of contacts from that Moama area and friends around there. It's such a strong club. There's always good teammates to find for these kind of events.
Well, he's played a little bit of weight with that last one and just sort of sat and ran off a front bowl and positioned his bowl perfectly for shot, right on the line.
It's always interesting how these games play out at the start. Obviously, they've moved off the... Matt Robinson's moved off to the ditch rink on the far side of this indoor carpet to the streaming rink. Ben was about 3 rinks in on the far side of this green. So they've all should have an understanding of the pace of the green, having just played on it. But these different lines early could be a little bit of feeling each other out for the first few ends before those heads really tighten up.
Certainly a decent green, this indoor facility. The lines on all rinks are pretty good, I have to say.
Matt Robertson turning over Ben's bowl.
He gets an up and over there.
Still be holding one shot with the teal. No, just moving Matt off the camera here. See, an unusual thing for a lot of players that haven't spent much time on the streams before. It's a bit of a change to move where you're used to standing. And
Thought you were shooing flies there for a minute, Glenn. You were shooing players.
Yeah. I do that every second end when I'm playing as well.
Played at Maui 1 year, and it was there's flies everywhere next to the racecourse.
Yes.
Line was good there from Ben. Just pulling up, probably wanted to get past the jack with that one.
Maui, one of our 18 host clubs for this Victorian Open. Great way to cover all of the Gippsland region.
Golden Slipper Day today too, Glenn, talking to racing.
Yes, it's not something I particularly follow, but I was at Warragul this morning for the supporter event. the events that we run alongside these events are on the knockout game days for people that have not necessarily qualified through their section or that want a warm-up hit out before tomorrow's pairs begin. And a few of them there were talking about getting the TV up and running and, and who they were choosing.
Well, contact. One down's the indication from Leanne.
Yeah, Jack's run right the way through to Jess Alvaro's bowl.
Good contact on the replay. You see the triple cannon through there. Bit of Jack movement. Just the one down. Won't hurt too much. Good solid start from both teams. We thank everyone for tuning in at home. It's great setup, the live stream here. Some good players. Noticed you guys keep all rink updates too, Glenn. This morning when I jumped on in the hotel room and had a bit of a look.
Yeah, doing our best with that. I'm no doubt when you jump on with Matty later, he's our bowls link expert in the office. He'll talk about wanting this event to be fully live scored next year, get rid of the scorecards entirely. Every event that we use that live scoring for, it gets better and more trustworthy, and players have a better understanding of how to use it. And if we can get to that point, then everyone can check at home as they go.
It's the way to go, isn't it?
As I said to him yesterday on stream at one point, every other sport's doing it. Let's not look at it as live scoring. Let's look at it as electronic scoring.
Yeah.
You go to your kids' basketball games, and sure enough, stats and results are in there straight away.
Yeah.
It takes pressure off clubs knowing that they're in there. Your team manager doesn't have to do as much work. If you're at multiple venues, you see what's happening in the next game.
Post-game results and things like that, it's automatic.
Absolutely.
It goes straight in live time. So good start there again from Jess and Leanne. Good get down to the jack. She's just around it. Good shot.
Do you know which club is Leanne's base club in New Zealand? I know she's listed on Bowls Link for this tournament as Helensvale. She's done some permitting out here to play in Queensland.
No, I don't actually.
Of course, another example of all of our travelling players that are coming over for the Victorian Open. Got a big contingent from Hong Kong over here. We've got some Americans, we've got some Leanne and a few others from New Zealand.
Just so great to see the colour across the green. There's some wonderful shirts. The shirts for sale over there at the shop. AM wear. It's looks good.
Yeah, there's changed the system with that a bit this year and able to order shirts early. So a lot of players rocked up to the tournament having already ordered online and having them mailed there. And
brilliant.
It was great yesterday for day one of the event to look across the green and see so many people already wearing that uniform. And of course, all the different club colours represented out there as well. No longer is it a day of the whites with brown shoes.
Thankfully, I survived that era just.
I think I was lucky. I started off in 06 and we had white pants in the first year and then we moved to the blue pants with the white shirt.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
What would you say are some of the biggest changes you've seen over the career? Obviously, you've seen it all, you've done it all, you've won it all. What are the biggest trends in the game that are different from when you started nowadays?
I think we just touched on it from a visual perspective, Glenn. The uniform, thankfully we've moved into, great fabrics, really nice, vibrant colours. Footwear is, we look at all the manufacturers' footwear and ASICS shoes and things like that. You can walk into a shopping centre now and people don't know what sport you're playing, whereas before I think, it was obvious what sport you played with the white traditional sort of clothing. So that would be one of the bigger areas. I think professionalism. I think we've got our coaches are developing and getting better. We've got more of them now. There's younger people in the game. Like that's an obvious one.
Treated more as a sport than a leisure activity.
Yeah. I think the things like barefoot bowls and like corporate bowls and things like that, hens parties and that, where you can go and play bowls. Clubs have opened up that's been great for our sport. So and allowed clubs to generate more revenue as well. So clubs are surviving, hopefully, and but I just think the standard of the game has changed. You know, the line of bowls has changed over the years. When I first started, I was playing with classic twos. You know, now bowls are a lot straighter. But in saying that, you don't want to play with. You know, I don't think that you find that the top players play with super duper tight bowls because there's just more.
There was that era there where it was going on.
When they first came out, there was.
06 to 2010.
Yep.
Lots of the XTLs and.
Yeah.
And I think there was the Green. I think it was the Greenmaster, the Powers, and a few of those bowls where you're going, hang on, that's taking about as much grass as the Jack is.
Yeah. Yep. I think the good players have probably realised that you do need a bowl that sort of turns a bit, to something that sort of can cope on all conditions. So, games definitely changed for the good. It's been great.
Yeah, Marianne Hargraves mentioning in the comments that even all the bowls being black.
Oh, I certainly remember all the bowls being black. Yep. Black's the new colour now. I think if you play with the black set, it's like...
It's stealthy.
Retro.
Our ITO and paddler, Bob Carlson, indicating just the one to Jess and Ben at the moment. Playing that forehand side.
Lovely delivery, young Ben.
Yeah, it's very fluid.
Gets it away well. He's trying to get down to this black bowl at the back, just hanging off. His weight was pretty good. Effort.
It's a bit of an interesting one. Matt Robertson played the backhand with his last bowl trying to land or trail a jack, but there's obviously the risk there now of if that jack movement goes through, there's 3 catches there between Jess and Ben.
Yeah, he's probably just got the draw on the backhand. I think he doesn't really want any sort of back end of the bowl, as we say, to the right hand side of the jack. The outside of the bowl is a bad result for Matt.
And early in the game, 1 down's a perfectly fine result. Plenty of ends to be able to turn that around.
Rather for Ben. Excuse me. Heads have been top quality so far, Glenn.
Yeah. Again, jumping off this surface in the last game. Familiar with the pace. It's just a matter of finding that line on the new rink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from front to back, we're probably not looking more than a metre between the shortest and the deepest bowl on the rink.
Just sailed past. Gets that bowl solid with that weight. He was good. Right, one shot again.
Once again, Jess with that mat up at the top of the line. Playing top to middle. Just running out towards that tee.
Great crowd in too, wasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking before about the colours, and of course we've got colours of a number of players that have already played earlier today, and unfortunately their mixed pairs campaigns are over, but all the spectators in here as well. Plenty of Traralgon shirts around from the club volunteers.
We had quite a few of the Traralgon members marking our singles games for the Commonwealth Games trials earlier in the week, and wow, what a great job they did. They just, what I loved is they enjoyed it so much, you know, getting to mark, you know, like the likes of Kelsey and Disco and all of our players. But we very much appreciated their help and assistance.
Yeah, of course. Star-studded trials that you had here. I pulled up on Thursday evening and went to check into the accommodation, and a lot of the players were just walking out, getting ready to go to dinner, and I thought, geez, what have I done to deserve this treatment? All the A-listers of bowls there.
Yeah. Correction here from Jess. Yeah, good correction.
And I believe on Thursday also shooting some new coaching content as well. Ready
Yeah.
to go live.
Yep. That was good fun. Yeah, with Gaz, we're shooting some new content for the coaching courses, and yeah, so it's always something happening. Leanne giving that one a good show. Just trying to trail the jack down there. She misses. She's in a good position.
We've also seen that Matt's not been afraid to play a little bit of weight and chase things in the first couple of ends, so certainly a supporting bowl for his game style of what we've seen so far.
And she's good again here, Jess. Straight onto the line. Well, it's created a little port down on the other side there for Leanne. Probably wanting to keep her last weight, looking for contact or a clean jackie up.
It's an interesting one talking about these slightly overdraw weight shots. It's been a discussion throughout the week where this kind of surface can be very much draw or drive at times, and those in-between weights are where you can get stuck holding or turning underneath. So it's certainly going to be big if whoever can nail those kind of shots and gain some confidence from them early,
Yeah.
be able to back that later in the game when it matters.
Yeah, you know, with the bowls used and some of these rinks we saw earlier in the week, you know, that sort of weight that Leanne played, you've got to be absolutely dead on with your line, and some of the players found maybe just either taking a bit of weight off like you spoke about, you know, just to try and stay on the rink or bigger was more effective.
Ben playing the backhand now, no doubt looking to change it himself a little bit, turn the shape of this head over and take that shot away from Matt.
Had everything to be up there for Benny. There's a back bowl against him.
Matt playing with a convincing weight here.
I don't mind this weight.
Looks good for the port. Shot bowl through.
Yeah, it's a good result too.
Still 2 shots to Jess and Ben. Probably doesn't look much better for the Matt Robertson team now. It's probably more of a cold draw with the amount of space around the jack.
Well, Ben's given this one a bit more of a show here.
Yeah, left some holes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ben Winter. Tuning in. How are you, sir?
Matt going with weight again. He's not far away from the jack at all.
Just
has
under.
That hole.
Well, for mine, Ben needs to change it up here. He needs to play the weight of the back bowl up and over on the white, like he's just indicated. Trail the jack around the corner or back to the black one if he misses.
Yeah, got 3 good shots. That's a good place to be starting off from. But how can you secure them now?
Don't want to be too defensive when you're holding. Up and at him, there's absolutely no worries about playing at least a yard to this head as it sits.
The thing with it is securing the shot that you've already got is a really proactive way of playing.
Well, that's unfortunately for Ben, thickened the wall up. And we just saw Matt go through that exact same hole, Glenn.
Playing with weight again. He's on the outside, but could get the edge of that bowl through. And doesn't follow. It should be 3 shots to Ben and Jess.
Good start here for Ben and Jess. We'll see Jess just placing that mat in that same position.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we've also got the privilege tonight of you and Gaz jumping on. Bit of a Q&A session.
Yeah,
Talk to us a bit about what's to come on tonight at Traralgon.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it, actually. That's what I was doing this morning. Gaz was commentating, I was working. He was working here, I was working in the room. So, yeah, just putting a bit of a presentation together. We want to sort of, we thought it'd be good, instead of just doing a generalised sort of coaching session, you know, we actually wanted to talk about our experiences too, Glenn, you know, like some of the best players we've seen, you know, why we think they're the best players, you know, experiences that happen on tour, and just stuff that people don't really hear about too much, you know, instead of just the old line and wait story. So we've got a bit of that in there. We've got some obviously some coaching stuff, but a lot of Q&A as well. So, you know, we want to hear from, we don't want to talk at them. We want to be interactive and hope that the crowd really ask questions and get the answers they're looking for.
Should be a fantastic night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's an easy gig too. Like Gaz and I have known each other since we were 14 years old, so you know, we sort of bounce off each other fairly well. We know each other's sort of thoughts on things. So yeah, it's good, nice and light-hearted. I think is the key.
I imagine that makes day-to-day life as the national coach and the assistant working together well, nice and easy too.
Yeah, no, it does. You know, I know Gaz's wife really well, and he knows my hubby really well. So, yeah, it's good if you.
So no doubt they're the ones that are always sitting there at the catch-up saying, "No work at the dinner table, please."
Paul's playing pennant this afternoon. My hubby's playing pennant for a start, so he'll be. They've got a bit of a. They secure final spots, I think, this afternoon if they win in Kiama. Oh, I think one of the girls just got hit in the leg with a jack there. Was that Tyson?
I would imagine so.
That hurts. Oh, hope she's okay. Get hit in the shin with a jack, you know it.
Had that situation at one of my pennant games this year. Someone copping one. I won't dob in who drove.
Just the angles too. It can come off a bowl, at the top of a bowl, or.
Oh, it's seen particularly on a carpet like this as well, where that jack sits on top of the surface. Thankfully, plenty of support over there. People checking in right away.
It's down towards her ankle, I think. Get some ice on that. I remember at BPL one year, Joe Edwards got hit in the shin and split her open, unfortunately.
Right, back to the action here. Ben playing on that forehand. 2 down, I would imagine.
Probably 2 down.
Oh, unless Jess's bowl on the wing there's in. It's hard to tell. They're all
much of a muchness.
Fairly evenly at the moment. Certainly room for a good draw bowl.
Well, I don't think the match win has been, or the end win has been played yet, Glenn, on this end.
It's probably a bit of the loosest end we've seen so far, which is a testament to how the start of the game's been.
Well, the jack's up the green a little bit further than it has been in previous ends going in this direction. I think he's pulled this one across. His weight's not bad.
Being forced to play on that hand that the players have been choosing less often. Well, nice and open on the backhand there.
Matt looking to potentially consolidate, I think. I think they're holding. Well, this is a good shot. That's the one. That's the boss. Front noser. Handy.
Yes. Ben coming up to have a look. No vision of the jack whatsoever. That centre line quite heavily blocked. They do have the outside bowls past the jack. However, with the position of Matt's bowl, I get the funny feeling it's going to be running straight down. That's chalk line as we see it. Leanne's bowl's in perfect catching position for any contact if he is to try and spring.
Not sure if he's looking on his backhand to just sort of use the inside of his own bowl to get back to the shot bowl or turn Jess.
Yeah, and I think if he just plays with a nice weight, guarantees a very good second shot.
Yep. Yeah, just not getting down weight was pretty good. Well, repeat is the way for this shot. I think from Matt, same bowls he just played. If he does get the front of his bowl and sits his bowl down, he could potentially bring his back or Leanne's back bowl in.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a touch would be nice. It's the hardest shot in the book. Playing the same bowl again when someone says, same again.
Yep, it is. Do it again.
I can't remember what I did in the first place.
Just over. Just over.
Quite like that weight for that intent of that contact.
Yeah, it was perfect. Just the one.
And that gets Leanne Poulson and Matt Robertson on the board. Of course, round of 16 action here at the Henselite Victorian Open. Getting to the pointy end of things.
Question, Glenn.
Yes?
The change this year from not respotting the jack to playing or having dead ends rather.
Yep.
What was the
Always
reason for that?
Plenty of games finished well and truly within the time limit.
Yep.
With dead ends anyway. So there's probably some spare time there that if people want to kill ends, we can do so. It opens up the shot play of the book a little bit more. You're not covering tees throughout game. You're not avoiding playing a swing or a drive at the risk it might kill because you don't have numbers there. Yep. And if in a game like this of 15 ends, if you kill a few and you run close to the time limit, you still get 14 in. You've still probably got a reasonable sample to determine a true winner out of that.
Yeah, just curious. It's good.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit of a discussion amongst the office about where we went with it, but thought
I think
it's a more true. I'm very much a traditionalist with I love pennant bowls more than anything else. Give me 4 rinks of fours playing against each other, the big scoreboard.
Yep.
I love all of that, playing for teammates more than playing for yourself. That's the stuff that gets me going, and playing the game that you kill the end because that's how you fight back on. It makes it interesting, particularly in games where you get late into it and you need to create a number on the last end of a knockout round. You need 4 or 5 in 3 bowl pairs.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Let's kill the end 3 times until we get the head that allows us to do it.
Yeah. And I think if you ask the players, they probably would prefer that. I'm going to guess that. Replayed ends if time permits. Why not?
Well, it's been interesting looking at some of the heads across the 2 days of play so far, and a lot more people playing jacks towards the middle of the green, being happy to kill ends, not going, we'll play to the tee because if we kill it, it goes straight back there anyway, and we back ourselves to have already owned that position.
Well, Leanne opting for the switch to the backhand. She's played two good shots on the forehand. Anything just past here is very good.
Certainly has been a high standard game so far.
It's such a different game on the carpet to grass. It's a different style of play. I think on the carpet, because conditions are kind majority of the time. A bowl sort of 2 feet or 2.5 feet short probably is not in the game on carpet, I don't think. I'd say 2.5 feet short of the jack.
Yeah.
Because, you're touching jacks, you're chasing jacks. It's easier to draw probably on the carpet because it's, we've got no wind conditions.
Plus the weight to move bowls isn't as significant, so you're not necessarily looking to move something up, or even if you're trying to land a jack high bowl, you can land it with, say, 18 inches of weight rather than 3 feet to move at that desired distance. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, and I'm talking, we're at the quarterfinal stage now. These are the top teams that have come through. Weight's key, isn't it, for our game?
Matt with a good-looking pace here. It's a matter of whether he's going to turn down to that jack in time.
Yes, same would be said, you know, 2.5 feet short, but same would be said for 2.5 feet jack high.
Yeah.
You know, probably not in the game. Any bowl past the jack, absolutely in the game.
The only thing we do note with those wide bowls on this surface is those little slices of jack can go at right angles a little bit more often on those carpets. So that jack wants to move that little bit further. It sits up nice and high on the firm surface.
Track was good from Matt. Just pulling up.
Just calling Ben to play to the blue and white bowl. That's about a bowl and a half, 2 bowls in front of Jack High, knowing that if he lands that, he can flop back in. Just pinched the line on that one.
Well, giving himself position, another bowl at the back. There's nothing wrong for Matt to be playing the right-hand side of the screen for our viewers at home, which is he's a lefty, isn't he?
I don't believe he is.
Is he a lefty? Or?
I think he's a... These are the things that we should be figuring out I thought he was a right-hander playing the back end.
No, he's a lefty.
Yeah, so left-hander's forehand.
Yeah, that's right. And just trailing that jack with, say, 18 inches of weight is just trying to tuck it in, getting the jack to a spot where your opposition can't get to it.
Well, it's also an option there for Ben as well, particularly now that he's framed that like that. Ben's got the 2 deepest bowls on the rink, can land that last bowl of Matt's for shot, or if he trails that back through and stays with it, there's 3 to be made himself. Everything
to play for here, Ben. We're looking for a bit more weight than he had with his last bowl, which is sort of, well, in between Jess. You can just see the bowl in behind Jess's leg there. It's a tight line down on the side that he's playing with quick weight. Good shot.
Lands the shot bowl clean.
It's a good shot.
Jess's white bowl fell over. Not sure whether it's fallen enough to make it shot or not.
Oh, it might have just slid Jess's bowl out there a fraction.
1-2, Matt and Leanne.
A little touch may have made a difference there.
Right.
Still a good shot.
With that, I'm going to say thank you very much, Karen, and we're going to welcome back in Matt Tobre, Education and Training Manager for BV. So no doubt you'll have plenty of coaching pearls of wisdom that Matt will be asking about.
Thanks, Glenn. So change of length here for Leanne and Matt. Matt back on the tee and short length. Welcome, Matt.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Good to be here.
How are you going?
Well, we just had to deal with a little bit of an incident on rink 4. We had a drive from Tyson Cromie that hit the opposition lead in the shins.
She okay?
She said, I've had tougher injuries in netball. I'm playing this on. So.
Oh, look at that. She's probably got a nice egg on her leg.
Yep. She'll be sore tonight, I think.
Yeah. Good start here from Leanne with a change of length. Toucher.
So I was watching some of this game so I could have a bit of information to give, but I've lacked the last couple ends.
That's all right. We'll catch up. It's been a high-quality game.
Yeah, from what I saw from the first couple ends, Jess has probably slightly got the measure over Leanne. I'm loving Leanne's technique.
Yeah, typical Kiwi, lovely technique. To me, I've obviously played a lot against Kiwis over the years, but they're all very similar in their technique.
Okay, yeah.
I would say.
Oh no, she's great to watch. Stays down, follows through, really watches the bowl.
And you have to on those quick greens in New Zealand. There's a good shot here, chasing the jack piece of it.
Great leading.
Oh, it's good shooting.
How have you found your time at Traralgon?
Yeah, well, I was just saying to Glenn, the motel and the bowls club's great.
I spoke to Gary, your counterpart, and he said there's been some long days.
Yeah, sort of 7:30 to 11-ish.
Oh, that's tough.
Couple of days in a row. Replicates Commonwealth Games. That's what it is.
Yep.
But we got there.
And I saw yesterday you did a lot of filming. Would that be right?
Yeah, just for the BA.
Is that for coaching courses?
Yep. Online coaching courses. So, yeah, I had to demonstrate quite a few shots, a lot of retakes, Matt.
Not what I heard. I heard there was a lot of one takes.
No, it's good fun. Yeah, effort there from Leanne. Good shot from Jess too. It's been high quality up front.
Yeah, Jess is bowling well. They're both bowling well to obviously get through their previous match. Ben Hubber and Selena Gomez. Goddard, sorry. I said Gomez.
She wishes she could sing like Selena Gomez.
I just realised that when I said it. Shortest mat length we've had?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, definitely shortest jack length in this direction.
Yep.
Yep. How's your role going and the coaching?
Yeah, it's going really well.
Side
I
of
actually
things?
spent Tuesday at a coaching conference by
With
the
Alan?
Australian Sports Commission. Yeah, with Alan, caught up. We actually catch up quite regularly online as a bit of a working group to try and, as you know, we're restructuring the framework for coaching.
Yeah, brilliant.
I really like where
Well, that's a
all
shot
there from
Matt.
Robbo.
Shot
He's been
from
under
Matt.
pressure a little bit, hasn't he?
Has a little bit, yeah. So restructure, hey?
Yeah, I suppose reflecting on what we're doing and how we can do it better. I believe there's a lot of scope in the reaccreditation process, you know, because we sort of accredit our coaches. They go off and do their coaching and then they just sort of submit a letter or say, yeah, I've done my coaching, I'm right to go again.
Yep.
I think they need to be obviously practicing regularly and also learning as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if we get that
absolutely.
combo of practice and professional learning, I think it's going to be the right mix.
Yeah, and you don't want them just to do the course or you know, and then just, that's it. You know, you want follow, you want follow on from that.
The big takeout from Tuesday's conference was we also can't expect our brand new coaches to know everything and be a successful coach in their club. We need them to be mentored from the start by expert coaches.
Yep.
Benny.
Oh, geez, that's stiff. So Matt, I'm gonna handball this one over to you. So we've just had a question about some updates for some other rinks. You're probably more familiar with Victorian players.
Did a little bit of work there. I've put the initial of the surname of the skips on the scoreboards because we've lost our fantastic scoreboards from last year.
Yep.
So we've got Wilson and Mitch Sidebottom. They've just played 3 ends and it's 4 to Wilson, 2 to Sidebottom.
Yep.
We've got Harry Coleman playing Dean Curran, and Harry's leading 4-2 after 4. Pretty tight between Vinny and Colin Vinendale. 3-2 to Vinny after 3. And this is an Altona pair. Sorry, I've mixed up with... It's Tyson Cromie leading Dean Curran, 4-2 after 4.
Not Harry. Yeah,
Harry's playing the Altona pair,
yep.
and he's leading 9-5 after 5.
Harry's the Lawn Bowls kid on Insta, isn't he?
Is he?
Harry the Lawn Bowls kid. Yep, that's how I know him.
Well, he's had plenty of live stream matches. And then we've got the battle between Brett Marnie and Kevin Anderson, and that's
keeping on. That's pretty tight.
2-3 after 4 in the favour of Brett Marnie.
2 of the big dogs.
Yeah.
Here we as Ben lines up for a run.
Oh,
he's got a result out of that.
Just
that's bowls.
waving it to go out, and it has.
That is bowls.
What are your thoughts on the replay, the dead ends?
I just asked Glenn about it. Look, I think if time permits, I would choose to be able to replay ends.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
I'm definitely in that camp.
Yeah, I was interested in asking Glenn the reason why, you know, which is good. No, it's good.
Well, it changes the game, doesn't it? When you've got a respot, you've got to think about protecting the back.
And this may be a silly question,
There's no
Maddie,
silly
but
questions, Karen.
me not being familiar with the rest of the surrounding areas, a lot of it's on grass as well as carpet.
With this tournament?
Yep.
Yeah, I reckon it's probably 50-50.
Is it?
A lot of outdoor, synthetics. Sorry, just knocked out something. Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe not too many actual grass greens being played for the Vic Open?
I reckon it's close to 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe some of the other venues are quite away. It's like an hour.
Yeah, there's a bit of a travel.
isn't it?
Yeah, depending on where you are. We are sort of quite central in Traralgon, but Currumborough, Sale, you're looking at up to 40-minute drive from here. And we do need to thank our 18 host clubs who do an amazing job.
Good shot there from Jess. Both with good weight, those bowls.
Would you have known Jess through Bowls
Yeah.
SA?
Yes,
Yeah.
through, probably bowls before she started working for BA. Yep. Yeah, she'd come to a couple
That's
of
where
my
I met
clinics.
Jess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just lagging off at this length. I was saying to Glenn earlier, I marked quite a few matches on Rink 8 of our Commonwealth Games trials this week, and if the jack was on the tee in this direction, if it was tee to tee, you could nearly get back to the jack on any line, but if the mat was up the green,
Right.
it was sort of doing this.
Okay.
Where just lagging off. It's not, it's fine. The green's great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but you just notice, bits and pieces at different lengths.
Thanks, Brendan. Elliot. Yeah, it is great to hear from Karen. And you've got a session on tonight?
Yeah, upstairs with Gaz. So I was just saying to Glenn, the Kazza and Gazza show.
But you're framing it as a coaching sort of workshop too, aren't you?
Yeah, I've called it a coach discussion. So we want to we want it to be interactive. We don't want to just talk at everyone and just talk coaching. We actually want questions. We want to the group. I think there's around 65 coming to interact with us. We're going to share some insights on players that we've seen and what we like about them and why we think they've been successful, and traits of an elite bowler and things like that, and also a bit of coaching stuff, obviously. So yeah, it'll be nice. And
I think it's a great
lighthearted.
addition. It's something that we haven't seen probably in the last 3 or 4 years at the Vic Open. An event, and especially an opportunity to learn from the best.
Well, Robbo here, really good weight again. It's just not getting down. For our viewers at home, if you're finding, if we do have a look at Robbo's last bowl, maybe just coming to the inside of the mat to take a sort of a tighter line, have the use of the mat to try and negotiate a bit of a tighter side.
That's probably a good point from some of our new bowlers, how to use the mat.
See if he corrects here, because his weight was really good. Pretty good. I think he's good.
Bowl, Robbo.
Yeah, it's right on the line too. High carpet green. That's where you want to be. Nailing the line. Ben's probably got, I'm going to say 8 inches or so.
Yeah, electing to draw it on his backhand. Been impressed with his draw game.
Yeah.
He's got a good drive too.
Well, weight's not bad here. Jeez, he wasn't far off. 2 feet would have done it.
Oh.
Well,
What are you doing if you're Robbo?
well, he probably doesn't want to fatten it up. That what you think about. What's the worst thing he could do here? The worst thing he could do is fatten it up and give Ben a shot with his last bowl. So he's probably just trying to draw around the jack and sit, draw a shot just around the jack on the line would be absolutely perfect. Well, that
around the jack.
works. That works. As he gives us a... Oh, you're playing for that? Excellent, Robbo. Well done, you.
Robbo just letting us know his thoughts as he walks past.
Yeah, he didn't really want to move that bowl on the line, his own orange bowl. It's a pretty good spot there. Ben can actually fall off that back bowl now, though, Matt,
Yep,
for shot.
that's the way he's coming. Forehand change. In the
Or
area, Karen. 3.
maybe. Looking.
Three it is.
Just got a question from Caspar. Do I think knee issues are common in lawn bowls?
There's a few players wearing some knee
There is,
braces. There's Colin Villendale on rank 5.
I would say probably not from bowls itself. It might be wear and tear over the years or possibly like a previous sport, I'm going to guess. I certainly haven't personally haven't
this
had
probably
any
leads
injuries.
to a good question here. Preparation for bowls. You know,
Stretching,
Yep.
recovery,
And
a bit.
strength work.
S&C, yeah, strength and conditioning. So we don't need to be able to run, like the wind or, be super strong. But we do need our bodies to be intact from an endurance perspective.
Yep.
If these guys are playing, how many games a day are they playing, Matt?
Wow.
3? At least
If
3?
you keep winning, you can be up to, no more than 4 today.
4 games of bowls,
Yep.
Over a lot of hours. Like that's, but it's physically taxing, probably more so outside than on the carpet, but also mentally taxing as well.
Yeah.
So day after day, if you do well in a lot of the events, it's a big campaign. So you need to be reasonably fit.
That's where I like the concept of when it's not your mat, just tuning out.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of time when you're not bowling. So why, waste that concentration?
And what you do with that time
Yep.
is super important, conserving energy. If you're down, how you react to that situation in your downtime. Well, Jess has played a very, very good one with the first touch-up. Looking to repeat that. Jess has always had a bad knee from my memory.
Yeah, she's got that physio tape on.
Just missed the line. Weight was good. How are your knees, Matt? Are they good?
They're okay. I've probably got out of football quite well, I suppose, after 20 years of amateur football. But there are times, definitely my knees are sore.
I still play a fair bit. Not quite as much as I used to, but I'd still play a fair bit. I've got Platinum Pen coming up in a few weeks' time, but I've got a chiro appointment booked in for Monday. Just keep the body body moving well, and you know, I do stretch a bit. I've stretched a fair bit this week. We've been on our feet all week, you know, like for hours on end, marking and running around work-wise and stuff. So good footwear.
That's another
important.
thing too. Was exactly what I was going to say. Footwear is really important.
Yeah. Well, it's only early into this game. 5 all on 6. Nothing in it so far. Last 2 ends, certainly Matt and Leanne probably had the better of the run. Winning games is all about momentum. And good shot here from Robbo.
Good ball from Matthew Robertson.
Yeah, probably just opened it up a little bit for the jack now. Sitting that bowl down. What an effort here.
Yeah, great bowl from Benny Fletcher.
Well, good and bad bowl, I would say, Matty.
Why bad for those new bowlers, Karen?
Well, Ben's holding one with Jess's bowl, and he's now just given Matt a bit of a shelf because that last bowl's just in front of the jack.
And on cue, no.
Yeah.
Out we go, the jack.
And that is another dead end. Interesting, if Ben hadn't have put that bowl there, would Matt have run at it because it would have been a 1 bowl target.
That's a great comment.
We talk about with our Aussie squad players and emergings and paras, you know, we talk about missing in good places all the time.
Yep.
You know, we talk about, you know, playing a bowl, making sure it's in the game.
Just a few comments in the chat. Faye asking about our player who got hit with the jack. Looks like Joe's playing out. She's fine. She's standing quite well.
Thankfully, Faye.
Any scores from Kev's game next door?
5-2.
5-2 to Brett Marnie after 5. And Lucas.
Lucas. My little Lucas.
So there's a story there. I've been playing the last 2 years with Lucas in the pairs. And we've been very, very stiff on not getting out of our section. And this year I haven't been able to play with him, and he's pretty bitter about it.
Well, holding a grudge.
Yeah. I think he'll be listening somewhere around here.
Oh, he's probably watching live and watching the stream at the same time, knowing Lucas. Good starter here from Jess. We spoke before about on the carpet, in the style of play on carpet, Matt, about bowls short of the jack not being in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to draw the shot on a carpet surface. So, you know, for mine, a bowl probably 2.5 feet short is probably not in the game. Anything past is, so Leanne's corrected really, really well with her next bowl around her short bowl. And we look at Jess's first bowl. Yeah. It's probably 3.5 feet past. Very much so. Yeah. So we talk about missing in good areas. And Jess has come back from her back bowl there. It's good. It's really good. Workable.
Yep. It can easily be a training session, couldn't it, at your club?
Yep. Umpire called on ring 6. Harry Goodwin.
Jack length, I think.
Good shots there from Leanne. Still can draw it here on the forehand. Such a beautiful day outside.
You wouldn't know though in here. We've got a fully enclosed venue and they've closed the blinds on us. behind.
Yeah, the sun comes in of an afternoon behind where we're standing. You can just see us there waving our hands. Yeah, it sort of gets onto the green and makes the line, sight of the line a bit trickier.
Just some scores while we're waiting for Matty to bowl his bowl. We've got Michael Wilson leading over Mitch Sidebottom 8-6 after 7. Looks like Marley's changing the scoreboard there. And it's Tyson Cromie 8-4 over Dean Curran after 6. Colin Vinnendale is leading over Vinnie McEwen. Vinny, 7-3 after 5. Harry Coleman is leading 9-7 after 7. In the battle between Brett Marnie and Kevin Anderson, it's Brett Marnie 5-2 after 5.
So pretty good setup here for Robbo. And holding 2 really good shots. His line was good. He's just short
But as you
of a
said,
gallop.
that's not in the game, that one.
It's not in the game. Probably with 3 bowls there on that head that aren't. It's easy done.
Wait here, I think, from Benny.
Easy done.
Oh.
Wow. That's a result.
2 dead ends in a row. Big change to this year's Vic Open. Dead ends apply. Ends are replayed. But if we do get timed out, it is respotted on the tee.
Most games are close across the board, Matty.
Yeah, we've got... Yeah, you're right. Still early into it, not quite over the halfway mark.
Big
It's like
shot.
Collins played a bomb on ring
Big shot
5.
there from Cole.
Yeah, he's
Fist
probably
pump.
holding 5, the bowl in the ditch. Now, this is another thing for new bowlers. It's not about getting as close to the ditch as you can, it's about cutting it down, finding out where second is and trying to beat that.
Yeah.
Now, Vinny dropped a 4 early by going into the ditch.
Yep. Trying to probably just give it too much of a chance,
He hasn't done it with
potentially.
this one. He's just about got second. Ooh, maybe not.
No. It's funny how that thought can play in your head just before that shot comes up again.
Yeah.
You know, if you went in the ditch with your last bowl, oh, geez, I don't want to. But he has got another bowl. He's actually played it well, even though he's probably 3 down at minimum. He's given himself a bit of a look with his next one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great leading, Jess.
change of
ALVARO.
change of hand there for Jess because the
Yeah, she's
black
been
bowl's
playing
in the way.
the backhand this way mostly, which I think's the nicer side.
They often say change your hand at a yard of weight.
This is like a coaching session, Karen. It's fantastic. Keep going. I'm
Shot.
taking notes.
Shot. I remember you were in one of my sessions, Matty, a couple of years
I
ago
was. It
down
was fantastic.
at Sunbury. I think as a player, you evolve as a player in your experience and learning off good players. Like I wish I knew now.
Yeah.
When I was probably say Ben's age, what I know now. And that's just
Years of bowls, isn't it?
yeah, it's just time, it's
And
experience.
some of our, we've got a big novice tournament coming up in early May, and those bowlers just want to get better and better and better, but
yeah,
they just also need to slow down and just play games of bowls, play these events and
Yeah.
learn things. You know,
You-
it's okay to lose.
you learn more from your poor games,
Yep.
the ones that you lose, than you do your good games. And probably one thing that I would say that I'm really grateful and glad that I did do this. I've just always been a sponge for information, and I still am. You know, I still love picking the brains of of our players, like Disco and, other players, just to see what they do. And sometimes you can try it, doesn't work, and then you ask someone else and something will resonate with you and you go, oh, geez, that really works for me. So you're always learning. Certainly you never know it all, that's for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. My last game was a terrible game in a club game, and I was just disappointed with my performance. I was hard on myself. And then I also reached out to my opponent and said, how did you see it? And they said, no, you played well. It's just a couple of things, you were searching for absolute draw where you could have just got second, slowed yourself down a little bit, maybe go to the head, have a look, you were rushing a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's perfect. That's information I need to
good feedback.
Implement into my next performance.
Well done for you on seeking that feedback.
Yeah, I was still annoyed. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but you don't, you're always learning. That's the thing, you shot here.
Yeah, he's on track. Matthew Robinson gets the clap from Jess ALVARO.
Yep. I'm a big believer, Maddie, in bowls and even it's going to sound a bit life.
Go with
like
it.
Things in life, but I'm talking bowl specific now. About situations is how you react to it.
Yeah.
Like a, something, you lose a game or a misselection or, something like that. You've got two choices. You either throw the toys out of the cot or you take on feedback or seek feedback, take on feedback and be honest with yourself and then look at it and go, okay, I do agree with this bit, and then go away and work on yourself.
Yeah. There's a saying that came across my table the other day, and it's either get bitter or get better.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, that's another good bowl there.
Hey.
Good shot. The hardest bit's
being in the game, as you said before.
Yeah, hardest bit's being honest. Honest with yourself, and
that might be a lot of our clubs and players are not reviewing their performance enough. What I love in a pennant game is just everyone together going, right, how did it all go? Well done. That rink, not so good.
Yeah.
Talk about it and then move on.
A couple of key questions in pennant. What did we do well?
Yep.
What could we have done better?
And this is really good within a rink as
100%,
well.
100%, yep. Because you probably can afford to be vulnerable and say, do you know what, my first bowl wasn't great.
Yep.
I'll work on that next week. What would we have changed? What can we do better?
Yep, I like that. Straight after the game, get together as a rink and just ask those questions. And then go and train it.
Yeah. Yep.
Before next game.
That's it.
Now, is that in the game, Karen?
I'm not sure whether he was trying to put a blocker in there or whether he was just short and having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, you don't know with Robbo sometimes.
Good news for Robbo and Leanne is that they have got back bowl.
Yeah, they do.
And by the looks of the angle, if Benny did drive and get the shot bowl, it's probably going straight into the ditch.
Yeah. Let's see what Benny elects to play.
So
backhand
drive.
It's not a full drive.
Gets one out. One.
So after two dead ends, we get a score on the board. Puts it 6-5 in Matthew Robertson and Leanne Poulson's way after 7.
So scores around the grounds. We're Mitch Sidebottom's game. Mitch is playing
Michael Wilson. So Mitch is down 6-8 on 7. Then we've got Tyson Cromie. Tyson's up 12-5 against Dean Curran.
We're a good team here, mate,
yeah,
because I know some of them. All right, next.
See how you go with the next one.
McElwain.
Yeah, I butchered that before.
Yeah, that's why I can't read it.
Just call him Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny. Vinny's from here, isn't he?
He is from here,
Yeah.
local boy.
Yeah. He's down 7-3 against
Colin Villendale.
Cole.
Yep, that's
Yep.
Colin.
That's it. Then we've got Harry Coleman is up by 2, 10-8 on 9 against.
I think it's Carol and Carmelo's rink
Okay.
from Altona.
Yep.
And the big one we keep getting
the big
questions
dogs.
about. The big dogs.
The big dogs. We got. We got
I like that.
The Kevy and Cass.
It's a cracking match.
Down 5-6 to Pidge.
After 7. The big dogs.
The big dogs. Yep.
Well, it's half right because Brett Marnie being the coach of the successful Yarraville Footscray Dogs.
Shot
Have you
here
watched
from
much of the Metro Pennant? Prem?
No, Maddie, I have to say I don't get a good.
Are you available for any teams next year? While I'm asking.
I knew that was coming.
I know a club in Prem Reserve that would love to have you.
I've never actually played down Melbourne Pennant.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
This might be your opportunity, Karen. Welcome to the Montes.
4 great lines there from the girls. Look at that, bang on the line.
And 3 bowls in play.
Yeah, front one's still pretty good. I reckon it's just over 2 feet. So it's pretty good.
So you haven't seen, obviously the live stream's fantastic, brought to you by Dandenong Bowls Club and Moama.
Yeah.
All right, so you haven't watched any, you haven't
No,
been a fly in for anyone,
No, I
but
haven't.
definitely opportunities for next season.
I haven't. I do. I was aware of who was in the final for Melbourne Pennant. Yeah. So yeah, we've got our Platinum Pennant starting in a few
tell
weeks.
us about that. I
Yes.
don't know enough about the Platinum Pennant.
Yeah. So we got 12 teams, and yeah, obviously home and away games. A lot of triple headers, mostly double
Triple
headers.
headers?
Triple headers. Yep.
Wow.
It's pretty well over in, I would say, 5 weeks, I think it is, around about then.
Okay.
Super strong teams.
Yep.
Some changes here and there in some of the teams. I think, obviously a couple of fly-ins as well, so... It's a really
And
good...
all live stream. They got
It's all
live streamed.
Yeah, it's live streamed. Bowls New South Wales live streams it. Some of the clubs do as well, as long as it doesn't clash with the live
Yeah, I think
stream.
I've seen some of it last year. Rowella, is it?
Warilla, yeah.
Warilla?
Yeah, that's where that's where I live. Warilla.
Well, sorry.
Say it again.
No.
Right.
Go.
Just the locals call it Rilla.
Rilla. I'll go with Rilla.
Yeah. That's my closest local indoor where I practice a fair bit. So Benny's just turned another shot in there of Robbo's. Yeah, that's where the finals were held last year, and we were lucky enough, the Bull Ants were lucky enough to win the inaugural Platinum Pennant.
That's Cabramatta, isn't it?
Yeah, yep, and
Yep.
we've been successful in hosting the final this year.
I've got to say, I love the Cabramatta fours. I watched plenty of that.
Yeah,
That was
good.
fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
I really like the idea of coming to finals, you get to choose your disciplines.
Yep.
So Cabramatta went with singles and triples,
Yep.
obviously with
Yeah.
Aaron Wilson.
Yeah. Head not shaping up well here for Jess and Ben.
No.
There's a really, I think, what I love about the Platinum, sort of how there's a lot of really good respect for each other, the clubs and the players, I would say. It's good. Some really good games, good hard fought games. It's played in the right spirit too, which is always what you want in sport. Just trying to drop around and count.
He has.
Has done. That's a Super Bowl. That's exactly...
Hasn't changed it much at all, has he? But in the count.
Yep. Might have just gone over a little bit, but angles are good for where Matt was just trying to cover and count there. Probably just hasn't counted, but cover. Really good, that side of the line. Well, I think he's just got the...
He's electing to backhand draw this.
Draw to save. If you get second shot here, I think it's a win.
Yeah, and this is probably something I should have been doing in my last match. Don't need to get absolute shot, but you need to cut it down. He's not chasing it. Moment in the game, Karen.
Line was good. We've just got a question there too, Maddie. So, Sean, great commentary. Just wondering how a smaller club goes about getting a marquee player or a coach. I would say put your feelers out straight away. You know, like there's always opportunities. I know of players that have become a marquee player and maybe put a bit of a session on for the club members.
Yes.
You know, just to say thanks.
Yep.
But yeah, reach out and put the feelers out.
We also had a great addition this year in Metro with the pennant permits. So a lot more regional players were playing Metro pennant and then going back to their regional club to play their pennant as well. Obviously, you needed the matches to avoid each other, so a lot of Friday night matches made that possible. I love that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so you had
That's cool.
Up to 3 pennant permit players from another club.
Really good. Yeah, as you say, as long as there's not a clash.
Yeah. We'll get you in as a marquee though, Karen. We'll work on
I think
this.
that is a good way to, you know, because I think when the clubs get a marquee player, the biggest thing you want is the members buy-in,
Yeah.
you know, and that member interaction with that player. That's gold.
So obviously you know about Jack McShane and Joseph Clark.
I do know those two boys.
Yeah, so they were looking for a club this year and both landed at MCC. And MCC just embraced having those 2 young players. And you could really see they love being there and will continue to be with MCC. And
Well, good on MCC. And I mean, they're 2 really nice young fellas too, I have to say.
But you could just see in the socials, they were just celebrating any success they had.
Yep.
Acknowledging the 2 boys. And MCC are going up to Prem next year, so
Okay.
I'm sure those 2 will be a part of it.
Drive there from Kev. Left one in the head. Still 3 down, I think.
I think so.
And still got,
Still got
2
2 to come.
2 bowls to rectify the situation. Yeah, the Pigeon Kevy game's 6-5 to Pidge on 7 at this stage, Stu. Well,
You like the 3-bowl pairs?
yeah, I do. Yeah, it's a good game. I like 3-bowl pairs probably more than I do 2-2-2-2. So it's a waste. So you waste a bit of time walking. I know it's a traditional sort of format.
Yeah, you could play a bit of front end and back end. Yeah.
I would say a 3-bowl pairs game is probably more a skips game.
We've had the debate on the live stream a few times, but yeah.
It's probably more a skips game, but if you, you know, like if your lead's not firing at all, you can't keep doing it. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I think if it's evens at the front, it is very much a skips game because of that 3-bowl say.
And I would say in our last live stream, it was Pidge just being that little bit of a difference as a skip. Nothing against Liv, but he played some important bowls. He's doing it next door as well.
Effort here from Jess. He's holding shot, just getting into the pack of black bowls there, which is a good result. Yeah, that's a good head there from the girls. 1 bowl offline. Very good.
I don't know if you saw that next door.
Kevy.
Yeah, unfortunate result. Kev, he had a great drive and it bounced around and bounced his bowl out.
I did ask Cass through the week how she gets on with Kevy in the mixed pairs.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity. She goes, oh, no, we get on really good.
I could imagine that being the answer for
Yeah, I
Cass.
thought that would have been the answer, but I just wanted to check.
Oh, Matthew Robinson, great bowl. Drawing it off, but still one down.
Because my hubby doesn't listen to anything that I say in regards to coaching or anything. I'll be the last person he'd listen to. Not really. He listens sometimes.
He might be listening now.
No, Matt, I told you he's playing pennant this
Oh, is he?
afternoon. Though I did get a new set of Henselite bowls through the week, and he's already decided to pinch one of my other sets. Weight was good there from Matt. Bowl at the back.
Yeah, if that jack gets back. Got some bowls in a good position.
We'll sit that edge of that bowl down. It'd be handy for Ben. Ooh,
But it's not a bad
good
spot
shot.
back there.
it's a good shot. It's a good shot because Robbo had a chance to try and probably draw the jack for 4 there at the back. So he split those bowls up. The green, the bluey green bowl in between Matt's back one. Well, Matt, I would say Matt's still one down here.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. He's got a bowl to come off though.
Just getting away on him now. Simple draw shot here from Ben.
Yeah, can make it a 2.
Well, Matt, after this bowl is put down, I'm actually going to have to scoot because I've got to get home and get ready for our presentation tonight. So
do that, and thank you so much for all your advice. I've learned a lot in this time. I
Thanks.
know our listeners have as well. So thank you so much.
No
And
problem.
good luck tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Ben's just put this bowl down, looking for a dead draw here.
Make it a 2, which will get him back in the match.
Doesn't want any contact on the orange. No, he's all right. Thanks, Matty.
You're welcome.
See you
Thank
soon.
you,
See you
Karen.
later.
And we welcome back in the commentary table, Troy Stafford. How we going, Troy?
Good, Matty. Yourself?
Very good. I've learned heaps off
Good.
Karen. It's been amazing.
I will apologise to the viewers that I am not Karen Murphy.
No, you're not. Hey, mate.
Yeah, we've been very lucky these last 2 sessions. We've had Karen Murphy and Gary Willis. Very, very fortunate. It's a ding-dong battle here.
Yeah, it is. That one was good for Benny Fletcher and Jess. I'll tell you what, whoever's picked the live stream matches has done a great job, Troy.
We've been pretty bang on, haven't we?
We have.
It's a group effort, the BV team. I'm sure we'll muck one up at some point. There'll be some game that is the best game of the century and it'll go 1-1-1-1-1. It'll go the next end and we'll have missed it. But at the moment, we're picking them pretty well. Has the standard been in this one?
Yeah, it's been really good. Robbo's obviously Benny got out to a 5-shot lead and then Robbo won 5 ends in a row. Well, his team did. Leanne Poulson.
You got good one here from Jess.
Yeah, she's led well. It's been a good battle of the leads.
Yeah, she's up against a seasoned campaigner. I'm sure Karen would have known a bit about Leanne.
Yeah, we were talking about her delivery. It's so deliberate and good.
Might get fortunate. I thought she was going to get a little fortunate rub there, but didn't need it. Looking at all these games, Maddie, there's only one blowout. The rest of them are
Karen mentioned that.
within 4 shots. Pretty good answer from Jess. Just down, I think. Leanne sticking with the forehand. Looking to beat.
Just get under
Yeah,
Jess's bowl.
beat the last bowl.
That's a good
Piece
bowl
of the
here,
jack should be
Troy.
very happy. Yeah, she's
Great
done
bowl.
that. Finished in a good home. Well played.
There might be a number next door for Kev. Pulled 4 out. Looking for 5.
Yeah, well, they're 4 down on the board against Pidge. It's a ding-dong battle, that one.
The big dogs, Karen was calling.
The big dogs.
4. Makes it 9 all after 10.
Well, Pidge, of course, is a dog, being from Yarraville Footscray. And it's the dog versus the steamer. But back to action here with Benny Fletcher. He's not far away.
Just missing under.
So close.
Gives us a big smile.
He's always got a smile on his face.
does,
He's got
doesn't he?
I just love his attitude. Look at that. He's even rubbing the toucher off. It's, you know, like I noticed in particularly in the first game this morning, just the sportsmanship between the players has been outstanding.
Yep, spot on.
Doesn't mean they're trying any less. They'd like to belt the suitcase out of their opponent, but you can do it in a nice way too. The smiling assassin. He had a pretty good scalp in his last one, knocking off Benny Hubber, so
Yep.
if he could get Leanne Poulson and Maddie Robertson as well, it's a big day. Just overplayed that one.
Although just needing another
Yeah,
metre.
didn't quite send that one. Important bowl here for Ben. He's really got to give this a chance, this one. He's given it a
He's
chance.
asking it to get down.
It's getting down. It's getting down as far as it needs to.
And shot.
Well
Great
played.
bowl, Ben Fletcher.
No target. Maddie's still got a nice shot on there. Sit the bowl, touch the jack.
Yep.
Alright. Final bowl at the end. He's called it wide. That's the thing with a carpet. If you do just get out wide with weight, it won't come back. One to Benny Fletcher with the last. Makes it 8-7 after 10. We're in for a big final 5 ends, and we're going to have another
Changing the commentary.
Changing
Thanks,
the commentary.
Troy. I'll bring Tony Sherwell in.
Bowls Vic CEO Tony Sherwell coming in, and Tony, as when I came on one end ago, I replaced Karen Murphy, and I apologise for not being Karen Murphy, and now I'm going to apologise that we haven't subbed Karen Murphy back in. We've brought you in.
Yeah, I'm not Gary Willis. I'm not Karen Murphy. In fact, I think I've probably got 1% of their bowls ability.
How privileged
But
have
I'm
we
very
been?
happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
You're welcome. How privileged have we been to have those two?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Karen Murphy is the queen of the greens. That's what she's known as. And there isn't much she hasn't done in bowls, and great to have her to do part of this match. And Gary Willis, very giving of his time as well. He's not only a superstar player and a fantastic coach, but just a ripping fella. So we're very lucky.
We are. And then we get them again tonight for a function.
Yeah, see if we can tease a few details out of them. At a private little sportsman's night type arrangement.
Yeah.
Around about 70 people that have booked tickets to come, and yeah, it should be good fun. But
yeah, looking forward to it.
even before we get to that, we've got a couple of cracking matches.
Yeah, I just made a comment, and apparently Karen had picked up on it too. Every match, there's no more than 4 shots in it apart from one game. There's one blowout, and the others are within 4 shots in every game.
Nice to see an absolute belter of a crowd in here too.
Oh, it's awesome. It's been like that since about 10:30.
Yeah, absolutely. Since the first round of matches, the round of 64 and the knockout matches, since they finished, there are a lot of people that have just decided to stick around all day. They can see the talent on display, including Leanne Poulson, who's just delivered her second bowl in this 11th end. 15 ends in total. Getting towards the pointy end.
Line perfect, just maybe a yard short. Just holding the better of Leanne on this end at the moment. No one's nailed it yet.
Just wanting to put the air brakes on this one. Familiar action where you hold out both your hands and spread your fingers wide, as if that's going to tell the bowl to stop. I do it myself.
I'm more
Hasn't
doing
worked yet.
the other to hurry it up because I'm usually short.
See in the background of some of these pictures, it's the sheer number of people down the back of this rink.
Not a bad effort. Both hands open for either skip to draw the shot, and Benny Fletcher has the first opportunity to do so.
Jess Alvaro and Benny Fletcher got out to a great start. They won the first 3 ends, a couple of singles, and picked up a big 3. And then Leanne Poulson and Maddie Robinson put the foot down. They put 5 successive ends in a row. And gradually, Jess Alvaro and Benny Fletcher have started to claw their way back in. They've picked up the last 2 ends, just singles.
Anyone you gets, one the opposition doesn't.
This is true.
Not a bad opening bowl from Benny.
And with a shot bowl. Will it stay there?
I think it'll be beaten at some point in this end, whether it's by Benny himself or by Maddie.
Maddie Robertson's got some new bowls. Quite trained them well enough just yet, has Robbo. Former Victorian selector up until this season.
And player, state player.
State player, yes.
Benny's interested and he's close. He's got good reason to be interested in this one.
It's a lovely bowl.
Yeah, well
Almost a
played.
little feather on it.
He was disappointed. I think he wanted to sit right on the front and would have made it really hard for Robbo.
Yeah.
Still great, but just sitting that jack high makes that little bit of difference.
Robbo just a touch high on that one. Head through the gap. Got a couple of bowls on the way. Just get confirmation whether this is 1, 2 or 3.
Our paddler Bobby Carlson. Not giving us much on this occasion. If he could just move that jack a few inches, it's going to be 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a harder shot. Tuck it in.
Not bad.
I think he's got it. It just depends how far. Oh, he got his own. He's disappointed, but geez, it's 2 cracking bowls.
Yeah, just the 2 is a signal from the one and only Bobby Carlson.
Hence why he was disappointed, because he was so close to getting that jack.
A little bit of pressure on Matty Robertson. That won't bother him one bit. Just working out what shot to play. He sort of walked away from the head and now he's on his way back. So a little bit of indecision. Personally feel like every time there's indecision, people get caught in between 2 shots.
Yeah, the only, I guess, way if it's one's on the forehand and one's on the backhand, generally that won't. But if it's the same hand and you're deciding, do I draw? Do I need to make sure I reach? That's when you can see the line of one of the shots with the weight of the other one.
And the other way to look at it is, if Robbo was in 2 minds, he did go back. So
yeah,
logically, he's now got the shot settled in his brain.
Absolutely, and he.
I was going to have a rip at him.
You were going to say little brain then,
I was,
weren't you?
yeah,
I know you well.
I know Robbo, so I know I can get away with it.
But he's got plenty of experience that he'll
sure
make
does.
his mind up.
Pressure won't bother him.
He's heard for the
Very good
draw
effort.
and it's played it extremely
Wow.
well. What a shot.
Tipped out to that one. Even Benny Fletcher gives that a round of applause.
And a hip and shoulder.
Nearly into him. And well played by both these 2 gentlemen. A lovely, lovely couple of shots from Benny Fletcher. And Matty Robertson says, you don't get away with that. Jam one in there myself. So picks up a single. 11 of 15 ends gone. So scores across the green. Brett Marnie 9, trailing Kevin Anderson 11. They played 11 ends. I will just read skippers' names. We've got Harry Coleman 11.
I'll find that name for you, Tone.
Someone in front of the scoreboard. Spataro from Altona is 13. They played 13 ends there, so Spataro leading by 2. Colin Vienendahl leading 14-4 over Vinnie McElwain. They've got 8 ends on the board there. Tyson Cromie leading 16-10 over Dean Curran. 12 ends gone. Mitch Sidebottom, I can't see that scoreboard at all. In fact,
11, Mitch is 11.
Right.
And Michael Wilson 8.
Okay.
After 9.
Played 9 ends there, so as you say, pretty much all close games. One just a little skew if at this stage, but only 8 ends gone, unless they've decided not to update the board for a little while. Could be the case.
That 14-4's been there for a while. I think Vinny might be changing the board here now.
Or kicking the scoreboard over, one of the 2.
Well, he's changing his own
It's
numbers.
not too bad. So the update there is 7-14. So they picked up 3 shots in a row, 10 ends gone. Certainly not done with yet.
As we see Leanne with the opening ascendancy, changing hands with her second. Good changeover. 1.5 foot short. Jess also changing hands. She looks like she's made a reasonable change as well. Sit on that bowl would be very nice. Second shot. Action aplenty here at the fantastic Traralgon Bowls Club. We thank them and Morwell as our venue hosts. Henselite is our naming rights partner in the 2025 Henselite Victorian Open, last 16 of the mixed pairs. We also thank Latrobe City Council and Destination Gippsland for all their support in bringing this fantastic event here, and Dandenong Club and Moama Bowls Club for helping bring the stream to you wherever you are watching around the country and around the world. It's not easy for Benny here. That bowl of Jess is just in the way, unfortunately.
A little bit of work to do, but the way he's been drawing shot the last couple of ends, I think it's going to trouble him too much.
Matty Robertson, what a shot.
Started to hit his straps.
I think Jess calling the weight, and I think that's the way to go. Open this head up. Got something, couple out. Open the head up as Jess runs 3 rinks away. It's still going. It ended up on rink 5, and we're on 8.
Got to run quicker than that, Jess. Cavalcade of stars in the crowd. Bowls Victoria President Pat Schramm, you can see down there. Bowls Victoria Director Kaz Rothwell is in the house. Come from miles around to see the action here at the Henselite Victorian Open for 2025.
Why wouldn't you?
I did.
Has he got enough run to count? I think he may. No real target now like there was before. Okay, so one.
ALVARO is saying mine is close for second.
1 and a measure. Looking to land those 2 bowls of Matty Robertson just underneath. I like the weight on that. I think he's played good weight there.
Played against Robbo in the Australian Open this year. Tell you what, he's got a good eye. I reckon he didn't miss one at all day. When he said it was 2, it was 2. When he said it was 3, it was 3. It was impressive. A lot of good players are very good at that, but Robbo was extra good.
I used to have a third, Rod Nicholson, who was an ex-builder, and he was unbelievable. Didn't do anything with the fingers or anything, he just looked at it.
Yeah.
And I remember playing Premier League against Essendon. We were going to win overall with the last end, and we were 3 up on our rink going into the last end. I had last bowl of the match, and it was 2 and a measure. He looked at it and he said, definitely only 2. So I didn't play the bowl. With other people, I probably would have. Didn't play the bowl, and it was millimetres, but he was bang on. I trusted him. Wouldn't trust him with a lot of other things, but I trusted him on that occasion.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Nicholson. So Robbo just getting a little bit of coverage. To me, that says Robbo thinks he's got 2. Yeah, the other person that was brilliant at it was Mark Casey. Could spot it from the other end of the ground. No great surprise, you know. Player of that calibre. Seen a lot of bowls, but can work it out from the other end. It's just an amazing gift. One of the many gifts. Something like Mark Casey has.
Yeah, because it makes a difference to what shot you elect to play. Conservative, aggressive. I think he's just
wants it to hold longer. It's not going to.
If it was more, he just took the weight off from his previous one.
We'll find out how many this is now.
May have made it 3.
Could have.
3 it is. It's a big end in the context of this match.
It is certainly need that extra one in there, but for the fans of Leanne Poulson and Matty Robertson, happy days. 12 ends gone. Mate, let's stretch this lead out. 12-7.
So that's their biggest lead of the game. Penny Fletcher had a 5-0 lead, but equally matched now by Matt Robertson and Leanne Poulson. And of course, the later in the game that you get that lead, the more valuable it becomes.
Correct.
So this is, I feel like this is probably the most crucial end of the game for Jess and Ben, is to see how do they respond. 5 down, 3 to play. Pick up a 2 or a 3 and there's nothing in it again. And they do get last bowl, so plenty still on offer for them. That's where these knockouts are so good but so cruel. They're cutthroat. You know, you can play an amazing game and come up against someone who plays equally amazing and you lose by a Budrigar's kneecap.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is tournament ending when we get into knockout stages. But
that's a good response from Jess. Really good. Covers up the jack.
Still room to wrestle it away for Leanne Poulson. A little bit of support from Serena Bennell in the comments on Facebook.
She could, yeah, just pops it open a touch. Another foot here for Jess. Up and over her own or just drift around it. Yeah, it's coming to a good home. Very good home. 1 on, 1 just past.
Looks like Marley Malcolm and Tyson Cromie put the bowls in the bag. They've made their way into the quarterfinals of the Victorian Open Mixed Pairs, the first of our quarterfinalists here at Traralgon Bowls Club.
There's 2 more matches being played at Newborough this afternoon in the round of 16 phase. Yep. Tony just checking out BowlsLink and we can't update you on a score, but we can update you on the opponents as Leanne draws a very good second shot.
Yeah, so in one of the quarterfinals being played out at Newborough, Jade O'Connor from Clayton with Tim Fraser from Trafalgar, taking on Chelsea Pollock and Todd Trewarn, both of Melton. On the other side, as I'll have to refresh.
Yeah, well pointed again, Jess, just drifting past.
The other side not yet determined.
So who's in that last 16 there?
Oh, sorry, my bad. What am I saying? There's only one match out there. So that is the quarterfinal match.
Oh, so
Jade
that,
O'Connor and Tim
that's
Fraser
right.
are playing Chelsea Pollock and Todd Trewarn.
So time-wise, it sounds like they're slightly ahead of us.
Yeah,
here.
I think so. They've kind of always just been a touch in front.
Must be us. We've dragged the chain.
We usually do.
Too many
Too
quality
much faffing.
matches that are going to the wire. Let's see how Benny responds from that last end. It's his first bowl of the end.
Benny Fletcher using the Drake's Pride Adrenaline. Maddie Robertson skipping the other rink using the Drake's Pride Conquest. Jess Alvaro, of course, using a blue and white XG. And Leanne Poulson using a black, white speckled Optima as Robbo's on the drive.
Bit off target.
Finding a hole.
Benny doesn't want to fatten this up. Wants another shot, but don't fatten it. We might block it. It's still open on the forehand if he wants to run again, which I feel like he will, but he's coming down to have a look. Assess the situation from the head.
Well, as you said, this is an important end, third last end. If Poulson and Robertson can pick up a score here, it makes things really difficult for their opponents.
I've got, what would you say, 2 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
He wants the bowl clean.
He's looking to get the edge of this blue and white bowl. Get it out of the road and not disturb anything behind.
Not quite.
No. Missed the other side by a little ways.
I think if he wants that bowl clean, he might have to take it to the polishing machine out the back here and clean it that way.
Benny Fletcher has just sprinted down to get his bowl done.
Yeah, he knows the importance of this. So long as he takes his time on the mat, though. Don't rush. Important to add a second.
He was a touch short with his first two.
If he crashes into that shot bowl, he will count. Well played. 2 it is. 3 the diff, 2 to play.
Good response from Benny Fletcher. Just ALVARO. Up and back.
This is what we wanted. We wanted another close one. I think everything we've put on here has been tight and quality. And that's not a credit to us, that's a credit to the players.
No, it's all us.
Okay, fair enough.
So we see these opening couple of bowls. Kevin Anderson is leading 13-9 over Brett Marnie. They played 12 ends. Carmelo Spataro's leading 14-11 over Harry Coleman. They played 13 ends. Vinnie McElwain trailing Colin Veenendaal 7-14 after 10. I mentioned Tyson Cromie and Marley Malcolm are already through.
As
the final
you say
match
that,
over there, Mitch Sidebottom leading 14-8 over Michael Wilson. They played 11 ends there.
Rhonda Malcolm tuning in and congratulating Marley and Tyson, and that's Nan.
Ah, nice. Well done, Nan. You should be very proud. I'm sure you are. Marley, somebody told me she was about 15 or 16, so to make a quarterfinal of a Vic Open as a 15, 16-year-old.
I don't think she's 16. I thought it was even 14.
Could be.
Yeah.
Great achievement.
Either way, she's had a good little week or so, winning the Eastern Ranges Champion of Champion Singles after Bendigo for Champions Week. Pretty awesome.
Should be thinking this game's easy. Of course, she won a competition last year to partner with Tyson Cromie in the Vic Open mixed pairs, and they must have had a bit of fun. I've decided to come back and do it again.
Maybe that's why Tyson didn't offer his services up again. He said, no, I'm not changing the partner that I had.
No,
makes a bit of sense.
And that'll be a victory. Rick next door. We'll wait for this bowl to come and I'll give you the details.
She wanted to land on her already shot bowl as it does and flops in.
Nicely bowled Leanne Poulson. There we go, 14 is Marley Malcolm, so well done to her and Tyson Cromie. They are through. Joining them in the quarterfinals, a different part of the draw, is Carol Fleming and Carmelo Spataro from Altona. They've accounted for young superstars Akasha Fortune and Harry Coleman. Nice bit of youth and experience across this green here at the Vic Open.
Good weight, just, oh, it's hanging on. Hung on more than I expected.
Three shots the difference, 2 ends to play, still anybody's game. This one's lined up the jack. Does it have the trip?
Not quite.
Shy.
It's not often that Robbo's a touch shy, is it?
Certainly not. Could be the first time ever.
Benny's taken more grass with the second. Looking for it to stop. I think it needed to fall.
Thank you to Matty Robertson. He's asked what the situation is.
One.
Just one down to the bowl on the wing, as pointed by Leanne Poulson. Very helpful of her.
Is he out wide enough?
No.
Are you sure?
But yes. I really didn't think it was. That is the side that turns a little more.
Yeah, it was just, I noted with Ben's bowl it hung more than I expected too.
I thought Robbo, once he'd crossed that line, it was going to skip away, but that's why he's out there and I'm in here.
He's on the sprint again. Last time he sprinted, he got the shot.
Yeah, it worked for him.
Or we
got second
made
shot.
another shot, yeah.
Still only a young man, Benny Fletcher, but been around for a long time, played a lot of bowls.
And seen a lot of bowls. Around that front one, can he get a bit of the jack? Oh, he's done it. That's
Certainly
just
on the trot
Alvaro's.
now.
What's he made? More than one?
Three. Certainly
Three.
two, likely three. It is three
What
confirmed.
a
by Bobby Carlson.
shot.
Oh, Robbo's done a lace. He's broken down, as he says. I'm only really repeating what he says.
You need Velcro. You need Velcro, mate, at your age.
It's a battle for Robbo. He does suffer from some pretty ordinary back issues, Robbo, so hence the bowls lifter and a range of things that gets him through. Still bowls very well.
Is it going to get down? I don't think so.
Shouts of, oh, as soon as he let it go, knew that one was a touch wide. It's lucky he didn't remove that bowl too.
Couple of big ends. No, they had the front one there that...
It's probably is closer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely two. Three was the signal from Bobby Carlson. Very rarely wrong. In fact, I'm going to put it in the book. That's 5 shots and 2 ends to Alvaro and Fletcher.
We did talk about 4:40 is the time, Ben.
You're on the last end now anyway, Benny. You're all good.
2. I was hoping it was 2, not for Ben, but just so that you were wrong. Apologies to Ben.
You're
but
hoping that I'm wrong. You're in luck. It happens about 8,000 times a day.
But just another comment, just because it was 2 and not 3 doesn't mean it's no ends added.
Must be this computer's wrong.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 1 shot the difference. Jess Alvaro, Benny Fletcher. Trailing by 1. Got control of the mat. Brought the mat up quite a ways. Jack probably sits 1.5 foot off the tee.
If Jess and Ben score a 1, we go to an extra end. Any more than a 1, they win. If it's a no-score end, or Leanne and Matt win it, they go through.
Seems simple enough.
It's as simple as that.
Jess just a touch heavy with her first. As long as it stays up, not the end of the world.
Yeah, Daniel Nichols, we've noted both those bombs he's played, he's sprinted. He needs to sprint after every bowl. He's not allowed to chase his first bowl in the conditions of play, so he might need to just walk away about 20 metres in the other direction, and then when it's his turn to bowl, sprint back to the mat.
Leanne Poulson nailing the line, still a touch through.
She's corrected.
Yeah, good correction, Jess Alvaro, sitting in just behind the jack. Julie on Facebook wanting some updates from other rinks. I shall do that very, very shortly. So watch this bowl from Leanne Poulson come in. Just a touch quick. Gonna settle in, not a terrible home though. All right, so Kevin Anderson leading Brett Marnie 13-9. They played 12 ends. That's on the very next door rink. Carmelo Spataro has taken the match from Harry Coleman. Scoreboard says 14-11, but the match is over, so it was beyond that. Vinnie McElwain mounting a little bit of a comeback, still trailing 8-14 against Colin Venendale.
He's just
He
made
might
a
have just
number.
picked up a 3 over there though, so
Colin with 1 to play.
that'll get the crowd up and about. Tyson Cromie defeated Dean Curran in their round of 16 match. And Poulson's taken a bit of weight off here. I think she might have taken a touch too much off. Mitch Sidebottom leading 16-10 over Michael Wilson. They played 13 ends there in the final match.
So as the skips now are changing over, as it lies, the scores are tied. Ben needing to add another to hold game, and Maddie needing to wrestle shot back
Plenty of
to
room to
hold
do it.
game. Yep,
The issue for Benny Fletcher is his opponent has last bowl.
correct.
He won't be able to take it easy.
Not sure if that's in, but even if it is, I think it'll be something that Robbo will beat.
Plenty of room to draw for Robbo. Has he been playing the ditch hand most of the time, Troy boy? Is that the...
Well, the last end coming this way was the inside hand that he played that absolute cracker with the last bowl.
The ditch hand here.
This one looks a little enthusiastic. It's one of those ones where you know you want to draw it, but you feel like you've got to be there too.
Well, just seemed to straighten a touch. So
Yeah.
Matty Robertson looking to do the same bowl. Take just a touch of weight off.
He's dropped his weight.
This is a good effort.
I think it's more than an effort. I think it's more than an effort. What a shot.
Yeah, Benny Fletcher, what a sportsman.
Yeah.
Applauds just how good that bowl was.
He's got one opportunity now. He's looking, do I run, but I've got no target? Do I try and dead draw it? And that will force an extra end if Robbo can't get it.
It's a bit 50-50, isn't it? I mean, I think there's still room to draw. Well, I know there's room to draw. Benny Fletcher's been quite good with his draw shots this match. But having a run at it will be tempting to him.
I would draw. All you've got really is a
Yeah, but
bare
you're
jack.
old.
Old school.
He's less than half your age.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, did I say old? I mean old school. He's less than half your age.
I know.
I don't know. This would be 50-50 in my mind.
Sometimes
He is old head,
experience
young
versus
shoulders,
youth, though,
yeah.
you see.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Just,
What would you play?
well, I'm old as well.
So you're drawing.
Right, here we go. Is this the last bowl of the match? Benny Fletcher on the draw. Old head, young shoulders.
That's it, see?
Does he have the trip? Got enough weight. It's
He's
a
given
very
it a
good
show.
effort. It's a
Just
very
needs
good
to
effort.
keep running.
It
Oh,
just
it
doesn't
needed
quite have the trip.
half a foot.
It's a heartbreaker.
What
but
an excellent
a valiant,
attempt.
valiant effort from
So-
Jess Alvaro and Benny Fletcher. That'll be a victory. Robbo won't need to play his last bowl. They'll pick up a single and take this match. 13 shots to 11 in a match that was played in very good spirits. Of course, Benny Fletcher and Matty Robertson will have played against each other a number of times, both hailing from a similar sort of area. So well done to them. And just an update on the rink next door. Cass Millerick and Kevin Anderson have made it through in their match, beating Andrea Todorovic and Brett Marnie. So that sees Matty Robertson, Leanne Poulson through. Cass Miller and Kevin Anderson are through. Matches earlier on, we had Marley Malcolm
And Tyson Cromie
through, and Carol Fleming and Carmelo Spataro are through as well. So
2 more matches still in progress.
keep your eye on Bowls Link for all of those. And of course, we have one more match coming up on BVTV today. We thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we thank Moama Bowls Club and Dandenong Bowls Club for powering the stream, Josh for producing the show in such stellar fashion. We'll be back shortly on BVTV.
In the UK, there's a bowl for every surface for the Henselite product. But overseas, I use the Tiger 2 and I use the Dreamline XG purely because I love the grip and the arc that the bowl takes, and that's what makes me one of the best players in the world.
The Traralgon Bowls Club. Amazing food for you and your family. Function rooms for celebrating with your friends. Corporate spaces for meetings and conferences. With special benefits for members, visit us today at the Traralgon Bowls Club. More than just a bowls club.
The Morwell Bowling Club is your place for fun and food. Come and try bowls and make new friends. Have coffee or bring the family for lunch or dinner. The Morwell Bowling Club. Visit us today on Hazelwood Road.